Hello everyone, I'm Denis Poisson and this is the Foolish Fish Esoteric and Occult Book Roundup for the month of August 2024. These are the books that I received last month and I'm really looking forward to sharing some of them with you. They are in no particular order. They are all worth your attention this month. There's so many good ones. The first one is actually a book that I didn't know about. It's a gift from Llewellyn. Thank you so much for sending this book to me. It's Alpine Witchery. So this is an uncorrected proof for limited distribution. It's not the final work, but it is due out very shortly. And it's a book by Christian Brenner, and it's Austrian folk magic lore and spellcraft. Essentially, Christian Brenner has gone through the trial documents from Austrian witch trials, right? And found the spells that were reported during those trials and shared those spells with us. It's fascinating. It's a look into the history of European witchcraft, traditional witchcraft throughout the ages. There's a really nice introduction that goes into all the context that you could possibly need. There are a few really nice appendices that talk about the ingredients that are necessary for the spells that are included here. Obviously, not all the spells here are particularly ethical. Some of them are, some of them are not. You have to use your own discernment, of course, to decide whether this is the right thing for you to actually practice. But if you're simply interested or curious in the actual history of Alpine Witchery, then yeah, this is a really, really great one to get started with. Next, we've got a Formless FIre, and oh my word, let me tell you folks, this really took me by surprise. A Formless FIre is a complete compendium talking about the entire history of Western magic by Ike Baker, the creator of the Arcanum podcast, and he very kindly dedicated to me, you can see his mention of the Arcanum channel. The first thing that I noticed was this blurb by Corey C. Childs, who was saying, "Move over Manly P. Hall, there's a new mapper of esoteric history in town." And I thought, that sounds hyperbolic. It's not. It's not. The last time that I read something of this scope was indeed A Secret History of All Ages. And if I just show you the table of contents over here, you'll be able to see the kinds of areas that are covered in this book, and you'll probably agree that it's pretty extensive until you actually go into it and you find in how much detail he has explained every single concept, all the way from antiquity and the Goetic practices of the ancient Greeks, all the way, and Egyptians of course, all the way to modern day with the occult revival of the late 19th century and all the way until today. And there's some fantastic practical information here. It's not just a history, it's how to do it all, and I'm just completely flabbergasted. There's a few appendices over here which teach you how to do the LBRP, which teach you how to scry the tatwas, that teach you to do the middle pillar, and so on and so forth. So lots of practical information over here, as well as the context within which all of this was discovered, and it's absolutely wonderful. A major contribution to the magical world. Great stuff by Ike Baker there. Next, of course, we've got the 10th anniversary edition of Gateways Through Stone and Circle, and it's just as beautiful as I was hoping. It's a blue faux leather cover. It feels kind of waxy. It's quite nice. There's this slightly embossed white print on the cover, and this is the seal, which you may have seen reproduced on Etsy. At the beginning of the Foolish Fish Discord server, one of the first questions that I was asking is, where does this seal come from? I can't find an attribution for it anywhere. Well, it turns out it's Frater Ashen Chassan's creation for this book that is, just regularly used for with no attribution. So next time you see that particular seal, do bear that in mind. You could possibly take the creators up to task and say, hey, how about giving Pratarash and Shasan some credit here? This is a fantastic book. Of course, we've got a new introduction, a new foreword, a new introduction by Dr. Stephen Skinner, talking about how this is a grimoire that actually gives you everything that you need to perform the evocations included. And that's exactly what you're getting here. You're getting a little bit of theory, a little bit of philosophy of why this works and how this works and so on. And then you get the details on how to actually evoke these angels using Trithemius's, or attributed to Trithemius anyway, his method for calling spirits into crystals that was reported in Barrett's The Magus. But this really goes into quite a lot of detail on how the modern practitioner can perform this exact ritual with a view to actually making physical contact with these angels. Maybe a little word on the construction. It is Smith sewn. The paper is relatively thick. It's kind of bleach white. There's a very lovely white ribbon as well. And yeah, all in all, it's quite a nice construction. It's the pages are a little bit stiff maybe, but apart from that, yeah, a lovely 10th anniversary edition, and I'm just so delighted to see that all of the artwork, which was originally slated to be AI, has been replaced with real actual art. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very beautiful. Right, next we've got a study course on alchemical symbolism by Adam McLean. This is an actual course book for alchemical symbolism. And I was just going through the first lesson with a view to be able to give you an idea of what we're getting here. And well, I can already tell you that Adam McLean is a great teacher. He shares some concepts and with examples. He shares some concepts with examples, and then he gives you some exercises. Okay, we've gone through these two examples. I've shown you what symbols I've been able to find in this particular emblem. I've told you which symbols are present in this emblem. Make the difference between what's intended to be a symbol, what is intended to be just decoration. And now it's your turn. Go ahead and find how many symbols you can find in these places, and then check the results. I won't tell you which symbols I found, but I'll tell you how many I found, and that way you'll get an idea of whether you are looking in the right direction. And I have to say, I completely laughed out loud as I had a look at all of these and found the same number, or at least a similar number as Adam McLean had found. I think I found something like 27 here. He said he found at least 30. But then I was looking at the responses over here, at least 30 symbols. You can see, for example, 6. And then I had a look down here. Okay, if you cannot find 30 symbols, perhaps alchemical symbolism is not for you. I thought, what could... Oh, I see. Right, okay, yes. I spent a good couple of minutes trying to catch my breath laughing after that. That's really, really good. So yes, as you can see, it's done with a touch of humor. It's a really great curriculum for learning to discern the various symbols of alchemy. And yeah, probably quite essential skills for anyone interested in esotericism and the occult. Okay, the next one's a big one. This one is The Secret Freemasonry of a Priest in the Temple of Nature by Johann Samuel Mund. This is a brand new edition. It's been translated and is actually in 2 languages, side by side, put together by these fine gentlemen up here. And you'll be able to see that inside we have, on the left-hand side, the German language, and on the right-hand side, the English language. This is a book about the particular order that was created by Samuel Mund in the 18th century. And so the majority of the book is actually the description of the various orders, and the description of the rituals of the various orders and the secrets of the various orders. It's all described here. If there are any ciphers, the ciphers are described and explained. It's all very clear, it's all very easy to read, and you have the original German just next to it if you're curious as to what the original wording might have been and things like this. Absolutely wonderful stuff. I think that if you're interested in Rosicrucianism particularly, this is going to be of great interest to you. Talking about emblems, right? Yeah, there's this kind of secret alphabet of the angels, which once again is shared and described, and many different rituals and processes and initiatory processes, and everything you could possibly hope for, described in great detail over here, along with original documentation in full color in this beautiful edition. And you'll see that it is Smith sewn. It's got nice head and tail bands. It's got two bookmark ribbons of red and gold, in a nod to the order that was actually called the I can't remember the exact name, but it was basically the order of is it the white, red and gold or something along those lines. So yeah, just really lovely. And let me just give you a little close up here of the cover, which is, I'm not sure if this is leather or faux leather. If it's faux leather, it's very, very good imitation. I think it might actually be leather. I may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. It's stamped with this kind of lovely gold design, which works really well. Yeah, this is what the spine looks like. Quite nice. And this is what the back looks like. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Next up, we've got The Psychic Art of Tarot by Matt Oren, which everybody's been waiting for, of course. And it's beautiful, absolutely glorious. Naturally, in Matt Oren's typical style, he's really making things very clear here for absolutely anyone. Now, what's interesting about this book is that it's not your typical, what does this card mean? What does this suit mean? What does, what's the Kabbalistic meaning of these numbers? What does a tree of life mean? And so on and so forth. He assumes that this isn't your first book on tarot. If it is your first book on tarot, there's plenty you'll get out of here. But there are so many my first tarot book exemplars out there that I think it was really brave of Matt Oren to make a book for people who read tarot rather than people who are thinking about reading tarot. Because we know how it is, don't we? Publishers usually like books that can be read by absolute beginners. But here, Matt gives us a look into the psychic abilities that accompany the tarot reader. So knowing what the cards mean is one half of the equation, and being able to tap into your intuition is the other half of the equation, of course. And so Matt is giving us some insight and some training in that second half of the equation. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, but I'm a beginner, well, the beginner book that I recommend is always Lon-Milo DuQuette's Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, whether you're interested in Aleister Crowley or the Thoth Tarot or not, because the Thoth Tarot is so complex and so detailed. If you can understand that, then you can understand any tarot, and Lon-Milo DuQuette makes that really easy to understand, which is a tremendous feat of magic in its own right, yeah? But if you've already read a book on the tarot and you've already got a grasp on what the Ace of Wands could possibly mean, then this is the book for you. It's really, really wonderful. The exercises that he shares, lots and lots of exercises, just like with his previous books, Psychic Witch and Mastering Magic, of course, was his second book. This is just as accessible, it's just as good, it's just as insightful, it's just as careful about making sure that the reader understands what he or she is reading, and it's great. It's really, really great. There we go. Next, we've got Magic at the Crossroads by Kate Freuler. So this one's about the devil in modern witchcraft, and it's an overview of the character of the devil from various perspectives within witchcraft, a history of how the devil's been portrayed, how you might think of the devil from various perspectives, not only religious but psychological as well. And I think if I just give you an idea of what's going on in the back here, when you separate the religious dogma from the symbolic nature of the devil, who really is he? Kate Freuler presents the infamous figure as a symbol, not a deity, and reveals how to use this radical philosophy to strengthen yourself and your witchcraft. The devil represents rebelling against all powerful, oppressive systems of any kind. Through historical references, religious writings, and pop culture, this book explores the intersections between witchcraft and the rebel archetype. Freuler dispels common myths, providing examples from a variety of texts and personal stories about her own connection to this misunderstood symbol. She also shares a variety of hands-on rituals that you can use for self-empowerment, from the devil's relationship with the old gods to the shadow work associated with him. Magic at the Crossroads invites you to see this controversial symbol with new eyes. So yeah, actually, exciting stuff, right? Let me give you an idea of what the table of contents contains. There we are. We've got part 1, The Devil You Know, with a couple of chapters including the root of all evil, the modern devil, Satan, witches and women. And then part 2 with In League with the Devil, modern Satanism in practice, the devil and the shadows, satanic sigils and symbols, and so on. Some exciting stuff over here and some recommended reading right at the end. So that's Magic at the Crossroads by Kate Freuler. And last but certainly not least, we've got Ars Goetia, the black letter press edition. It is so beautiful. Let me show you. So with the blue background, unfortunately the vivid red of the cover here isn't really coming through, but I can guarantee that the red really is very, very vivid, very, very clear. And I'm going to say that Black Letter Press have really made an ultimate edition over here of Ars Goetia. This is one of the grimoires that was included in the Lemegeton, the Lesser Key of Solomon. And of course, it's probably the most infamous of those grimoires. And if we compare the thickness of this Black Letter Press edition with how many pages in the Lesser Key of Solomon by Joseph H. Peterson's edition over here that are reserved for the Ars Goetia in that book, right? So this contains all of the grimoires of the Lemegeton. This is just the Ars Goetia. And these pages that I'm holding between my two fingers here, these 2 pages are the Ars Goetia, right? And so, you know, why is this one so thick? Well, it's because Black Letter Press have actually given examples from many different manuscripts, you know, along with their thwarting angels. So that's a nice thing. Many people don't like to have just the demon's seals on their own. Some people are fine with it. Some people really are not, and really like to have these angelic seals next to them to keep those in check, as it were. That kind of is the point of that. And we're getting this wonderful introduction, really great insights. We're getting this little acorns section. So passages from Reginald Scott's The Discovery of Witchcraft, King James's Demonology, Agrippa's The Vanity of the Arts and Sciences, and so on. And then you get a little preface, and then you get the various things that have been said about this by the important people who have ever said anything about it. It's all here, folks. And then you have the catalogue, and then you have details on how to do the conjuration from different sources, and magical circles by Scott, by Sibley, by J.B. Gent, I don't know, and Daniel Defoe. Really, really cool stuff, folks. This is so complete, and it's just it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. If you are a fan of the Ars Goetia, I'd say that this is really a lovely, lovely format in which to own this one. And that's it. That's what I've got for you this month. I hope you saw a few books that you enjoyed. If you'd like to support the channel, you can become a member through Patreon. There are links for that down below. And that gives you access to the Foolish Fish Discord server, where you can chat with lots of other Foolish Fish members about over 300 different magical topics. If you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me, there are links to be able to do that down below as well. If you'd like me to read your tarot, or if you'd simply like to talk about your magical progress with somebody who might understand and possibly give you some personalized advice, even if it's just a long reading list. An enormous thank you to the existing members, every single one of you, and in particular to the Level Infinity members, David Venturini, Caitlin Kopok, Aritz Murueta Ramos, Linda Hendricks, Stephen Hunter, Susanna Redelfs, and Thomas. Thank you so much, all of you, for your incredible support. And also thank you to all the Level 3 members whose names you can see scrolling up on the left over here. Thank you so much once again for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and see you very soon with another video. Bye-bye.